Hi, what's up guys? So we're back in the UK and we've started off another season of locations for you along the shore. We're up between Morecambe Bay and the Lake District at the moment, and we've two things to do here. One is we're going to investigate this plaque on the wall here which tells us that a young boy in 1857 fell down the cliff face to his death. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then this also has a werewolf story attached to it. This particular hill here is called Humphrey Head, and the story is the last remaining werewolf in England got chased all the way up this very hill to the top and was shot by a silver bullet and fell down dead, and he was the last one in England. And the movie Wolfman, the new one, the recent version with Anthony Hopkins in it, is a more kind of follow on. It's the kind of story of Humphrey Head. It's basically, that is the legend of the story that was put onto film. So we're going to start with this. So what have we got here? Let's have a look. Let's zoom in on it and show you guys. So we've got William Pedler met his end August 22nd 1857, aged 10 years. So this kid, I think that little bit above that we can barely read now says something about something now you these rocks ascend. William Pedder met his end.
So I think he must have fallen down the cliff.
Yeah, August. I thought it meant August. It was a bit August
27.
August of wind. That's what I was thinking. Like August. So anyway, before we start shooting tonight, Andy's just getting the equipment on, the spirit talker and all of that. We've just got to tell you what happened with some of the footage from Rome. We were meant to do 4 Angels and Demons shoots, air, earth, fire and water. And 2 of the shoots got axed because we actually were filming around government building area. We filmed 4 fountains, and then we went off down this road where there was government buildings and armed guards on duty and stuff like that, and our camera froze completely, and when we tried to load it up it wasn't allowed to load on. That happened at also Navona Square, which we went back to do the final the water bit of the Angels and Demons, where in the movie, for those that have watched it, where the priest is in the fountain and the professor pulls him out. We were banned from filming there because also there's government buildings. So we did do the filming and we weren't allowed to load it on. So there are 2 pieces of footage missing from the Rome series. So we just wanted to let you know what happened with that.
What got me was, a lot of people said to me, oh, it's probably YouTube blocking it. But the fact is, they were stopped, and the footage was stopped and the audio continued to the end of the video before it even put it on YouTube. So for anybody who says, oh, it'll be YouTube doing the restrictions, it can't possibly be security services or whatever. When I loaded it up onto the computer before I even put it onto YouTube, it was stopped then. The actual footage was stopped. The audio carried on, but the footage was stopped, and this was before I loaded it onto YouTube. So for anybody who says, oh, it'll be YouTube's restrictions, this was before I even put it on, and it was them 2 videos, and the 2 when I thought about it again. Ava.
So what if Ava? So Ava, is that the name we've had before?
I've had quite a lot, Ava.
What if Ava's some spirit guide or somebody's, like a past family member that we don't know the name of, like a great auntie or whatever? But how far can you go back in your family? Because I can only go back as far as my great grandmother and my great aunties. So who before that was, Are you going to sleep? If we're making you tired, we can do this without you. Go and have a sleep on the rocks there. It ain't a problem.
I'm just taking in iron.
You having a gust?
I'm just taking in iron.
You need a gust of air.
It's very nasty here.
Oh, what was that? It's very nasty here. That's because he fell to his death.
Oh yeah, it would have been nasty.
That's because get the you've put the EMF meter over there, right?
Yeah. It would have been very nasty.
Okay, so what happened to you?
Yeah.
Did you fall from like way up there? What were you doing up there? Were you climbing? A kid would climb, wouldn't he?
The first thing I need to ask is, was it an accident or were you pushed? You know.
Were your kids playing or did you just slip? That's funny we get that. It's very nasty here. Or is it the mother that's saying that? Maybe Ava is the mother? I mean, it would be nasty memories for her if she come back and...
Oh, yeah.
Are you with us? Like, do you come back to this place where this tragedy happened?
But then again, saying that, it's a place, because if you go further out, you could end up getting stuck.
Well, it's the Cross Bay, I mean, over there.
Do you know what I mean? Alright,
Yeah.
it looks like grass, but when you go over, you can end up getting stuck.
That's Morecambe Bay there, lit up.
The tide comes in very quickly here.
And the Victorians used to, from there to here, run a Cross Bay horse and coach service, which could only run when the tides were right out like now. So I'm wondering do you still come back and visit the place where this tragedy happened? Do you still come back and try and piece together what happened? And are you trying to stop it from happening a second time to somebody else?
Have you not settled?
Please come forward and talk to us.
Are you still restless?
I mean, can you imagine that? You go out for a day with your kid, and kids climb, you know what kids are like, and the kid comes crashing down and dies. It's like...
Surgery.
Maybe they tried to save him.
Well, yeah, they would have done.
Yeah. Did they try to save you?
They wouldn't have been.
No, but they would have been able.
He wouldn't have had much.
They would have
chance
tried
in them days.
If the kid was still alive, they would have tried their best to save
but
him.
in them days, he probably wouldn't. You wouldn't.
It had only just coming in. It had only just started coming in.
Yeah. You see,
surgery started coming in the Crimean War, and that was roughly about 5 years after the.
See if they'd been at the top. I mean,
he was probably climbing up the crags there.
Yeah.
And he's come down and just, because look at these rocks. If you fell on these rocks,
if you hit
jagged edges, aren't they?
From a height as a kid.
Or did the sea come in this far?
Nancy.
Nancy. Who's Nancy?
Nancy.
Who are you, Nancy? Come forward. Were you here when this happened? Are you related to this little boy?
Are you his mother?
What happened here? Can you tell us, one of you?
His sister. Could have had sister, couldn't he?
Yeah, it could be any relation, really.
I mean, you don't know. Are you some sort of relation? Are you somebody who put this stone thing up?
Tell us what happened here, Nancy. Do you all gather here to still remember, or have you moved on now and you try and forget it? Yeah, so the plaque actually says, beware how you these rocks ascend. Something William Pedder met his end. August 22nd, 1857, aged 10 years old. God, it's just, kids will be kids, won't they? And, even adults, me and Andy will climb up there. You know what I mean? You just don't think about the consequences, do you? You just go ahead and do these things, and then the next minute, it all ends in disaster sometimes. Maybe you got up looking for the werewolf. What era was the werewolf?
Something William Pedder met his end.
I think it's after William Pedder met his end. I think it says, beware how you these rocks ascend. After William Pedder met his end.
Yeah.
August 22nd, 1857, age 10.
It's possible it's more Francis.
So we're getting names. Are these names attached to this disaster? Were you all here for the day when that happened?
Yeah, it could have been a big family day.
Yeah.
You don't know, do you?
No.
You don't know. I mean...
What if they just got off the Cross Bay coach from Morecambe over there, which would have come over here to Ulverston? But I think there was probably different areas where the coach would have pulled in, because over there where the sunset is, that's all the Lake District, the bottom end of the Lake District, sort of Windermere area where it's still pretty flat before it starts to get into the mountains and that. But this Humphrey Head is the place where the legend is the last werewolf in England was chased all the way up to the top of Humphrey Head
I mean,
and was shot by a silver bullet. And that's what the film Wolfman, the new one, not the old black and white, I think that's from a book. But I know the new Wolfman, if you watch it, is the one that's more, it's about this story, I think. It's pretty much based on this. And I think that hall in Wolfman is supposed to be one of the halls up here where he hid out. Because there's a few, there's Levin's Hall, there's Leighton Hall, there's Holker Hall.
Rich. See,
Was the werewolf, is this the werewolf we're talking about now? Is he a rich guy?
I mean,
What do you think? We've had this lycanthropy discussion before, haven't we?
there are, I mean...
It comes from somewhere, let's say that.
I look at it, and it's the same thing with vampires. People go, oh, no. But there must be something in it. And there are people in places like Romania who absolutely 100% believe it. I mean, there are cases in not long ago, within the past sort of 30, 40 years, that people in certain villages in Romania have actually gone after night and put stakes through the heart of some people who have died. I mean, there was one case, it's not that many years ago, because a guy did a documentary on it, and they really didn't want...
What was that message?
Look, I'm here.
Look, I'm here.
Yeah.
Who are you, please? Who's here? We might need to switch to the radio. Has your phone just died?
No, it says 15%, so I'm gonna...
Okay, so shall we switch to the radio then? Look, I'm here. Who's here? Can you give us a name of who's here, please? I'm Alison. This is Andy. Is William here? Are you still running around and climbing the rocks? Or are any of his family or friends here?
See, that's what I was saying, werewolves. I mean, there must be something in it. There must be something there. Because as much as you say, there's got to be an element of truth in these tales. Hasn't there? And it's not as though it's like something that's been for a long time. You know, these
Eagles over the crags.
Eagles over the crags.
They might be vultures.
These tales, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. Some incident or something. Like vampire, there must be some incident that
Comes
happened.
from somewhere.
I mean, yeah, there are people, vampires, who, well, they say, I mean, they're not the living dead, but there are people who are vampires, who do drink blood, and they don't bite people's necks, but they do. But the living dead, I mean, there must have been something where it's come from, the same as with werewolves. There must be something there that on a full moon that somebody's personality changes and they change to it. To turn into a wolf.
It does. It's been proved, hasn't it, in the past with this is why they called them lunatics in the past, because they were governed by the moon.
Yeah,
Lunatic. That's why, because on full moons they used to find in places like Bedlam and all that, they used to go crazy and start rattling the cages and be really upset for one night, like on the full moon. And they think it's to do with, you know, how the moon can control the tides of the sea. Can it control the fluid on the brain and make people, like, personality change into bad moods and angry and all that stuff?
I'll do a quick one here because it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I probably won't even catch that up, so I'll do a quick EVP here. Right, I've got a device in my hand. Which, when you speak into the red light, I can hear your voice. Is there anybody here who would like to talk to us? No need to be afraid. We're not here to harm you or disrespect you. Just want to know why you're still here. You can give us a message. I'm Andy. This is Alison. You can tell us your name. if you're the werewolf, then can you give us a howl? Or if there's anybody else here.
Okay, let's see if we've got anything. There was a dog barking in the distance there, just be aware of that.
Is there anybody here who would like to talk to us? No need to be afraid. We're not here to harm you or disrespect you. We just want to know why you're still here. You can give us a message. I'm Andy. This is Alison. You can tell us your name. And if you're the werewolf, then can you give us a howl? Or if there's anybody else here.
Okay, so that seemed pretty quiet, didn't it, really? So I'm going to get a torch out of the bag, and then, so yeah, this lycanthropy thing we were talking about, I think we've talked about it before in previous episodes. It basically came from the full moon being able to change people's personalities, and one of the beliefs was that the fluid in the brain, if it goes from the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain, can make a people start behaving in like a random, like mad, angry manner. And it does make you wonder about some of the behaviour today, like the ADHD and all that stuff. Is it the fluid in the brain that's controlling it? So at Bedlam Hospital in London, which was the first lunatic asylum in Britain, the patients used to go insane and start like getting really aggravated and hammering and banging on the cage doors and all that. And it was always the build up to the full moon. They were always at the worst on the full moon, and then it died down after that. So doctors in those days, that's why they gave them the name lunatic, because they thought they were governed by the moon, as in lunar. So this is the only bay where you can get ghosts, werewolves, possibly UFOs, because we've got a clear sky tonight, and lunatics. So we're going to run Spirit Box and see if we get any voices coming through this way for a change. So William, young William, if you're around playing, and if you've got your family with you, would you like to come forward? Were you up there looking for the werewolf perhaps? Perhaps you heard the legend before us? Would you like to try and speak through this radio that Andy has in his hand right now? It's a way for you to communicate with us. Or maybe you can show yourself on camera. Can you show us an orb? Or a mist? Or any kind of light? Anomaly at all? Come forward. We'd love to see you and say hello. And I wonder if the sea actually came in this far back in those days, because with the global warming and all that, it doesn't come in as far now. Anywhere really around the UK, it doesn't come in as far. In which case he could have been on a boat. But I'm thinking it says on there fell, doesn't it? So he must have been up there climbing, or perhaps they were walking at the ledge at the top and he fell down. If you can come forward yourself, William, and tell us what happened.
You want to ask us, any messages you want to give us?
Please try and talk to us if you're here.
Anything you want to say? Any give us your name or anything like that? Why are you still here? Do you like the country music over there?
I actually think it's more of a summer fest. I can hear like dance music. There's a lot of all the summer festivals have started now, guys, because it's the 1st of June. So it's like the build up to Glastonbury, and there's everywhere in the UK right now we have like outdoor summer festivals going on at weekends and that. What did I say?
Well, it sounded foreign to me.
Alright. I heard something then. Rustle. Did you hear that? Might have been birds though, because there's birds nesting up there.
Birds nesting?
Yeah, birds nesting, but thing is I heard it was like a proper rustling. Werewolf? No, it couldn't be. Seriously, it's not a full moon, it's a new one, so we're not going to... You wouldn't come tonight anyway, look at me. I'm not scared or anything. That's what you're thinking, you got it all wrong. No, I definitely heard like a rustling back there, like these trees, but there are like some large birds nesting up there because it's like rocky crags in it, so perhaps it was that. It's nesting time now, isn't it? It's dusk. Perhaps they're going back to the nests. Alright, so if you come close to this over here, you'll be able to flicker the lights for us, show your presence. This EMF meter, if you walk up close to it, we can pick you up. Or if you come to Andy and talk to him, he'll be able to pick you up through this. That sounds like some Indian man ranting away and not very happy.
Come on. Come on.
Come on. Really? Well, do you know what? What if he climbed up and he couldn't get back down? And they was urging him to come back down?
Come on.
Well, they would say come on if they couldn't get him back down from the rock ledge.
Alison.
No, really?
Yes, it said Alison.
Who is it, please? Who's trying to come through? That's from the festival, that. Who just said my name? Please tell me who you are. What your name is, please. Do I know you? It just said, come on, I heard that clear. But I'm thinking like, if he climbed up and he couldn't get back down and they were kind of down here going, come on, like that, and then he fell, you know, perhaps. Just trying to piece together what happened here, you know, and if you're here, you could help us out and then we can tell people this story more than what there is written there on the stone, you know, it's...
You know you can talk to us, you're alright talking to us.
We're really sorry about what happened, it's a tragic thing.
Yeah.
The kids will be kids, won't they, and they have no sense of fear, the daredevils.
Yeah. Maybe your only chance to talk to somebody.
But you'll be remembered because of this here.
Tell us something. Give us a message. Give us a message. Give us a sign. You can speak through this and give us say something. Say your name. Can you say your name? The boy's crying.
The boy's crying. Maybe he was stuck on a ledge and couldn't get back down. Maybe he climbed up and was frightened to come back down. They were all going, come on.
Alison, can you say your name? The end of us.
Really? Well, it would have been the end for the family after that, wouldn't it? It changes the family, this kind of tragedy.
Can you tell us what happened? I know it might be distressful for you, but can you tell us what happened?
It's not... I was going to say it's not long after the anniversary, but it's a couple of months yet, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
August.
Alan Derek.
Them are my two uncles. Alan and Derek. Maybe it's them that said my name then. Are you here? Did you manage to get through?
Who knows Alison? If you can, say Alison again. And all of us.
I think that's related to this and all of us.
Can you say her name again?
Do you know what I've just picked up on? You know when you have those little flashes of psychic, even though you're not? They came back here to have a little service. I've just then for a second, I'm not saying I've seen a ghost or anything, I didn't, but in my mind's eye, I've just seen like a gathering of Victorian people in black, top hats, coats, dresses, all stood round here, doing like a service because it's where he died. You know, like a crossing over service thing.
Yeah, you would have been. Yeah.
That was just weird, that. Just for a brief second, I just break like a photograph. Like a quick click of a photograph.
As you are.
That's what, you know, when they said, all of us, that's when I saw that. The backs of them all stood there like a priest doing a quick blessing on the area.
As you are.
That's what they did then. They must have come back here, all of them, afterwards, just to do a blessing on the area, you know, because it's where perhaps, I think in the Victorian times, they really believed in helping the spirit cross over.
Are your family still here? Can you tell us what members of the family are here? Can you give us
Show us some orbs if you're here. Let's see you stood round. Let's see you stood by Andy. Something in the group.
Something in the group.
But if there's a group of people all dressed in black there, doing this like service, then with the priest, what did it say?
They're near me.
They're near me. Are you present, William? Were you here when the service was going on? Did you witness all that? Did you see it? Oh God, it must have been horrendous, mustn't it?
Can't do that.
I'm staying away. That's it, I'm staying away.
Staying away.
Who's staying away? William? That was a man though, weren't it? Maybe one of them couldn't be present.
Away.
Maybe the father couldn't because it was too painful.
Well, maybe they blame themselves.
Parents always do.
Well, like I said, hello everybody.
I think when it's the death of someone close, people always, they have that guilt where they do blame themselves. They could have done more, I could have done this. But sometimes it's just out of our hands. It's you know, nothing can be prevented. Sometimes it just cannot be prevented. What's that? That sounds like a musical box. You know, like the one from The Conjuring. The kid would have a musical box like that.
Oh, don't do that to me.
No, but kids, the Victorian kids had their musical boxes, didn't they?
Oh, we should have brought her.
What, Annabelle? She's not going anywhere. She's staying right put where she is. Trust me on that.
She's been out once.
And when we came back from Rome, the first thing I did was check her feet to make sure they weren't black from running about. And that she'd not moved, and she hadn't, so thank God she's right where she needs to be.
We're not crying.
No, she's not even, there's nothing different about her, so she hasn't moved. Thankfully. I didn't want for anybody who's watched our Denby Hall episode, abandoned episode, we didn't want the mental health patients to be taking over the Annabelle doll and bringing it back to our home. You know, we could live without that. We have enough chaos as it is, don't we, Andy? We don't need any help. We don't need any help from anywhere else.
And we will be going back there at some time.
Denby, yeah. I think
some time or other.
August bank holiday, I think it's going to be really now.
Yeah, I think because, I mean, those old lads said they got security escorting them out. But
We were going at night.
But there were about 8 of them. And they've obviously been making a bit of racket, I would imagine.
Probably, yeah. They've been in there 2 hours.
Been in a racket. Probably the blokes smelt weed and obviously known there was somebody in there.
Yeah, more than likely.
So we'll be...
We'll go at night time, but we'll do that in August.
We'll be in, we'll be alright. But
end of August.
we'll have a couple of cameras and we'll be able to...
So, would anybody like to walk along this footpath and show us some spirit orbs? Perhaps we can hear you talking on the camera.
I've already spoke to you a few times. Can you say your name? Can you say your name? Can you say your name? Anybody.
It does feel creepy. It's done it round here, like we're not on our own. Those lights at the back of Andy are Morecambe Bay.
I just feel like there's people up and down.
I do feel like there's a few people gathered here, I really do. But the Victorians, we've said so many times on previous films, they were big on spiritualism and contacting the dead and stuff like that. They loved doing that, so it wouldn't surprise me if they weren't trying to get through.
Is there anything you want to say to us? I've suddenly gone really cold.
Yeah, it has gone really creepy, hasn't it, all of a sudden?
I mean, it has gone dark.
Well, it has gone darker. The sun's gone down now, so... You know, that could add a little bit of the atmosphere to what we're doing here right now.
Is there anything you want to say to us? Anything at all? Keep going.
Just please try and tell us what happened that day here, the tragedy, that terrible day, and what happened afterwards to the rest of the family. How did you continue from this?
It was an accident. It wasn't your fault. No.
I always wonder about the effect it has on people afterwards, though. You know, the mother, the father, the brothers, the sisters, or even if the nanny or whatever was looking after them that day. You know, if they weren't out with the parents, perhaps it was the person who was meant to be looking after them, you know, guarding them.
We're presuming it was family, but a family who were with them.
Well, this is why I don't take the kids, the nieces and nephews out, because I wouldn't want that responsibility of anything happening on my watch. And as much as I love them to bits, I couldn't take them out as children because it was too much responsibility when there's somebody else, when there's someone else's kids.
No.
When they're 18 and over, yeah, I'll take them wherever they want to go, then go stunting anything. But right now, not when the children, I couldn't, because I think it's their kids, and if anything happened when they're out with us, which it probably will, because look at the places we go. Do you know what I mean? It's not worth it. It isn't.
By the time we start taking them out doing paranormal, abandoned and ghost hunting, we'll be OAP paranormal.
Yeah, old age paranormal on scooters. Scooter cam. We've got to have scooter cams.
We will be in the future doing abandoned exploring
on scooters. Scooter cam. Harley Davidson. The Harley Davidson across the back of the leather jacket, ain't it? Yeah. Harley Davidson. Buzz trying.
I'd call it something. I'd call mine something else.
Oh, go on. Well, I'm going to call my scooter Harley Davidson. Anyway, why are you trying to say that I'm going to end up on a scooter? What are you trying to say here?
You said
what are you? No. Right, come on. You started this, so finish it.
No.
You said
we'll do it on scooters.
Yeah, and then you said your scooter will be called as though I've already got one or something.
Because I don't think abandoned exploring should just be for able people.
But do you know what, though?
I think it should be for everybody.
Like people with... Yeah, well, actually, you're right. Like
it should be for everybody. But...
Well, we could always...
Climbing into disused buildings that you shouldn't be in the first place and climbing through...
Hey, you know what? I've just had an idea.
Up ladders.
You know what we could do? We could do the abandoned Lancaster Lunatic Asylum on your dad's mobility scooter, and let's see them dog handlers try and throw us out then. How could they, if you're on a scooter?
I'm quite happy. Yeah, can you imagine that?
They couldn't throw a man out on a scooter, or put anybody on it out on a scooter.
They want to know how I climbed over that fence.
No, because the doors are hanging off, so you just went in on your scooter through the door. We'll make sure you can get in on the scooter.
I ran my scooter.
And then when they come in with the dogs, we'll say, look, it's his last wish to do an abandoned lunatic asylum on his scooter. That gets us off the hook. Yeah, so next time we take the scooter.
But can you imagine if there was somebody in there? Right.
Go on. And you come down on the scooter.
And I'm going down one of them corridors.
Yeah, at night time.
Out from the dark on a mobility scooter.
Yeah, and you've got to wear the top hat.
You know, can you imagine some kids in there and
that'd be great.
Somebody coming down there with the top hat on?
That'd be great.
On a mobility scooter.
Oh, do you remember that night?
Absolutely. They killed us all.
We nearly freaked them kids out. Do you remember that night we were in there?
Yeah, we did.
They were all upstairs and we'd sort of come in through this door and you had your Ouija board tucked under your arm. And they came down the stairs, didn't they? And there was about 7 or 8 of them, and they shrieked when they saw us. We're just looking at the foot of the stairs, and you had your Ouija board under your arm, and I was like, it's okay, we're paranormalists. And they're like, oh, thank God, normal people. And I'm like, are you sure about that? And they said, what's he got under his arm? And I said, a Ouija board. And then they all freaked out again.
It happens.
Anyway, you do run into random people, don't you, in these places in the middle of the night? Anyway, talking aside, let's get back to this ghost investigation. They're probably all stood there thinking, we're here now and not one person's trying to get through to us. Are there any people here, please? Let's get back to the ghost investigation. What we're here for. It always ends up as a comedy act with us two, doesn't it? And we should have been on the pier together in waistcoats.
Talking about piers,
Go on.
that's where my drone went.
Oh, the drone. Yeah, we haven't told this story. I'm going to tell this one. Yeah, guys. Do you remember the footage where we did the let's launch our new drone and show everybody on the beach at Formby? That drone lasted 3 weeks, and that drone managed to do 3 flights. And on the 3rd flight, that drone plunged into the sea at Blackpool, and that was the end of it. So we had to wait until the tide went out, and then we waded out onto the beach to find it, and it was there ditched in the sand, and that was it. It was dead, it was a goner. So we took all the propellers and things off it and kept all the spare parts, and so we are droneless at this moment in time. But we did manage to fly it 3 times before it got plunged, didn't it, Andy, into the sea?
It got hit by a seagull. That's all I'm saying to you. It got hit.
Well, it was on its way back, to be fair. It went round the back of the pier.
I was bringing it back. It was coming back, and
it just nosedived, didn't it?
I don't think the seagull went deliberate. I think it's just hit it.
Maybe.
Or as it's been coming back, it's gone in that path of it, and it's hit it.
Do we need to do a funeral for the drone and bury it?
No.
You sure?
No.
You don't want to bury it here at Humphrey Head, right here?
I'm keeping the parts.
Yeah, you can keep the parts, but you can bury the drone. The drone is
exactly the same one, so I can have the parts and the batteries and
yeah, you can do all that. But the actual drone, we should put it back in its case and lower it into the ground and give it a proper funeral.
If that's what you want to do.
Actually, here would be quite a nice spot, wouldn't it, at Humphrey Head?
If that's what you feel about it.
I could bury my drone here at Humphrey Head. I'll think about that.
We'll
have a proper funeral, service for it and everything, and yeah. Okay, so right, have we got anything else we can do equipment-wise here? I left the Ouija board. We can use that if we do the next location. We'll get it'll be darker then, so we can get the Ouija board out. But sometimes I sometimes see a flash of light or something, and it's that quick. You're only going to know when you watch it back on camera.
Until you watch it back.
So you guys watching it might actually see like a flashy orb or something here and there when you're watching our footage.
That just reminds me of last night.
What? A flash?
No.
A flash of what? I went to bed early. No. I'd like to know what you saw a flash of.
No, and you were asleep, and I never
exactly.
And I never said out.
Go on! Don't tell me something ghostly happened now.
And it just with you talking about that, it gone out of my head. I got in bed last night.
Oh, don't please.
No, seriously, and I'm not making it up. I got into bed and I just lay there, and just before I closed my eyes, it was like the whole room lit up white.
You weren't having a migraine, were you? Or anything?
It lit up white, like that, and stopped.
Really? Like a spiritual light, you think?
I don't know.
We're not from outside. Taxis reversing round.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't for anything. It wouldn't have made that much light. Because
I don't know.
I know when cars have gone in, you could. No, it wasn't car. It wasn't car headlights.
All I can say is
it wasn't car because they wouldn't shine in there.
Yeah, all I can say is
it wasn't from outside. It was like at the side of the bed, like a light like that flashed and then went off.
All right. Well, don't forget, you've lost both of your parents in the last 3 years, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if they come around you.
It was funny, because I have heard, I must admit, I have heard things.
Well, do you remember the coffee table that shattered?
We've had that. I've heard my dad coughing in the other room.
Have you heard that? Seriously?
I've heard that.
This is the first time you've told me that.
And that's got, I've heard quite a few things in the middle of the night.
What, relating to them, you think?
Yeah, that I've heard.
They're probably around you then,
I've even in the morning when I've been getting up, or just before the alarm goes off, I've heard my name.
Really? It probably is them.
And I know it's my mum for the
Yeah.
one reason. She's the only person who ever called me Andrew.
Yeah, she is.
She never
Yeah, she
ever
is.
called me Andy.
No.
She always called me Andrew. Everybody else calls me.
Yeah.
Everybody else calls me Andy. Nobody.
Listen.
Nobody.
It's birds. It's got to be birds, hasn't it? Yeah, they're squawking. It's birds that get into the nests.
Yeah, but yeah, I heard quite a few things that I can't.
So it probably is your mum and
That we
dad.
can't. I can't explain.
It's only been 3 years since your mum, and it's last year since your dad. So perhaps you know.
Yeah, I have little things, and I think sometimes in the middle of the night you forget about them, and it's not until somebody says something you go, oh God, yeah. But yeah, I've heard my name called.
Okay.
I've heard my name. I've heard my care, and I've heard like coughing.
Yeah.
And that in the other room, and I've got up. I've actually got up and looked. You know. And I thought, oh, it might be somebody who's coming in, and then but you don't hear any footsteps out. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It sounds like they're around, and
so, yeah, I know that.
But I mean, they were big on this paranormal stuff, weren't they? So they would try to get through, because they know we do this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have they done stuff to you?
Oh yeah, your mum keeps hiding certain earrings. I've got these 2 silver earrings that are witches' hats.
And that's
one will disappear, and then it'll be missing for 3 months, and it'll turn up in some random place where it couldn't possibly be, you know. And that's happened a couple of times now, and I know it's your mum.
Yeah. But the fact is, they've disappeared. You've gone to get them, or you've put them out,
And they've gone.
and one's disappeared.
Yeah.
And the fact is, you've gone in the cupboard weeks later to get a bag,
And it's been in there.
and it's been at the bottom of
Yeah,
the bag.
and there's
Now,
no chance.
There's no way it could, unless you had that bag out, it couldn't drop in, and you didn't have the bag out. You hadn't used that bag for nearly 12 months.
So that's
how
family
that
spirit.
got in there, I don't
And I
know.
think
You know,
I think that goes for anybody else who's lost family members. You know, you can get these things happening around you after a person's passed away, which they just want to let you know that they're there. You know, that's really what it's about.
Without a doubt.
And we shouldn't really be frightened of it. But I think because you can't see it,
I don't mean
you fear it. And it's the fear of the unknown. It's like aliens and UFOs and things like that. Because we don't understand them, we're afraid of it. You know, oh yeah, we're fascinated, but also we would be afraid if one was to land right here now on the beach. It's just the fear, isn't it, of the unknown?
But I like that because I've always said I'm not going to be. Although I do this, I'm not going to be one who keeps every time I do something. Did you click something then?
That was that, I think, in your hand. It was that there. There's a strap on it. Do it again. Well, I thought it was that in your hand there that clicked. Well, did you not catch the aerial? There's an aerial on that, ain't there? Just play with it and see if you can make that noise again, because I always like to make sure it gets debunked before we say, yeah, it's paranormal and stuff. There was a click, but I felt like had you not caught your ring on the thing? Just tap your ringer. Or the big ring with the goat head on it.
No,
Tap it on the thing. Let me listen to it, then I can just pass it off as not. No, it weren't that. It did sound like a. I don't know what that was.
It sounded like.
It sounded a bit like that, yeah.
That's what it sounded. It's cold now.
Yeah, it has really, hasn't it?
I've gone really.
So what do you want to do for the next location then? Do you want to go to Haysham Graveyard or do you want to go to the old rectory? If we go to Haysham Graveyard, we can do both at the rectory as well, because we'll be able to charge up from here to Haysham.
Yeah. I think we'll have a look how far it is to Haysham
Graveyard.
Haysham Graveyard. See how long it's going to take us.
It's only 10 minutes from where we're staying.
Yeah.
Well, we went today.
We'll do that. We'll go to Haysham.
Only if you, you said you wanted to go in there, so that's why I'm thinking.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll go to Haysham.
I think we should do the graveyard.
Yeah, because we've wanted to do that, and we've just never got round to it, have we?
We can do the
So
story of Samball's grave and a lot of Heysham itself is like, goes back
Yeah.
to the 1600s, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so
Yeah,
we can
we've
finish
always
this here then
wanted-
because...
We've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I
haven't
think
we?
we've got all we can get at this location right now, so... Alright guys, so we're at Morecambe at the minute. We're at the north end of Morecambe, so we're going to go right down through Morecambe to the other end, to Heysham, where we've been before, where we filmed the monastery and stuff. We're going to go into the graveyard right next door, but we'll take a walk through Heysham because it's all the buildings go back to like the mid-1600s, 1660, and it's a lovely little village, and we'll go down through the graveyard and see what we can get down there. So we'll catch you guys at that end very soon on the next episode. See you later.
Bye.